Good morning to you. It is the 10th day of November for 2020. I'm Dan Gresham here at my house. Glad you're, I don't know, maybe you're at your house or there again with the magic of the interweb, the internet. You could be pretty much anywhere, right? You can be on your phone, you could be on your iPad, you could be at the office, you could be on the road. I'm not sure where you're at this morning, but I know where I'm at this morning, and I'm glad to be home. I have already been to the office, drank a lot of coffee, as you can tell. I'm kind of going full blast on that this morning. So, as per our usual here on the Facebook live stream, you're welcome to tell us where you're watching this morning, what's going on in your world. I really like for you to share so I can kind of feed off of that, see what's going on, what you have on your mind this morning. And I want to ask you about a couple of things this morning. I want to get your opinion on a couple of things. And maybe because of the lateness of the day, it's not a fair day to ask this and then walk away and have an answer. Maybe I'll ask this a couple of days and kind of get back some feedback from you because you're the reason that I'm doing these at home. And we started doing this, if you're not familiar, it's your first time maybe to watch one of these live streams. We started doing this probably 6-7 months ago, kind of coincided with the pandemic. It was the idea that we're all stuck at home. I'll do an update from home. Well, it's developed from that into a live stream YouTube channel thing that most days it starts at 9 a.m. But if I'm at the office and I still have to run home, then obviously it starts a little later. So that being said, I'm wondering if we're at the point now that maybe instead of calling it Dan's at-home update and instead of doing update on stories, that maybe it should be just Dan's at home. And we'll talk about a lot of things, and they don't necessarily have to be news stories, but we can just talk about things that are happening in our world. You let me know how you feel about that. And also, I'll let you know about the time changes, because part of this is also the idea that I could get home and I could do these from home because I was already working at home. But that might be changing. So anyway, keep all those things in play. Tell me what you think, and we'll move forward as a steady progression of where we are right now and continue on. So let's see who's up with us this morning. Whoops, hit the wrong button. Can't see this morning. All right, so let's go back up and see who's already up this morning. And again, you can tell us where you're watching, what's going on in your life. Hi, Mary. Always good to see you. Linda as well. Rosella is up with us this morning. Hi, Jess Hammerly. Tom, how's that growth coming along? You still participating with us on the No Shave November? I'm having a hard time. 10 days in, and it's been a while. So I kind of got the crazy thing going on. But for those who don't know, we are participating in No Shave November, which essentially means put the razor down for 30 days. And when people ask you, what's going on? How come you've got facial hair? Or why does it look like you haven't washed your face in a while? Then you have the opportunity to say, well, you know what? We're trying to raise awareness for men's cancer issues. We all share some, disease factors in our lives. Doesn't matter what gender you are, but there are also things that are specific to the gender. Obviously, you come to mind, testicular cancer obviously comes to mind this morning as one of those things nobody really wants to talk about. Nobody wants to, share the information, but it's something we should be talking about for our own well-being. So we're hoping that by doing No Shave November, and again, let me share the website with you, which is a very simple place to go. It's just noshave.org. And you can see one of those groups that it does support is St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So you can see No Shave November has helped raise more than $1.8 million in the fight against cancer since 2009. You can go to the No Shave November. We're trying to work to get our site up so you can contribute there. But even if you never give a dime, it's that idea that we have raised awareness about men's cancer in our country. And more importantly than in our country is in our community. All right, Roselle, as I said, is up. Jess is up this morning. Tom is up. Robin Reeves, good morning to you. Kelly Tidwell is with us this morning. Hi, Linda. I see you out there this morning as well. Suzanne, good morning from Bridge City. Grace Moy is watching this morning from over in Houston. Thank you, Grace. Jess says she's already had a half a pot of coffee and still tired. Only half a pot? I assure you, you've seen my thermos. It's a lot more than a half, and I'll be asleep in 30 minutes after we get done with this. Robin Reeves, good morning from Viter. Coffee pot, yeah, long gone. I can understand that. Hi, Marianne. Peggy Mitchell says, I love that idea. It's not like there's nothing to talk about. Exactly, Peggy, that's exactly what I'm saying. There's not like there's a shortage of anything to talk about. It doesn't have to be news related. Some mornings, maybe we'll, and here's the other thing. There's no shortage of information. If you want it, you can go 1,000 different places and find what's happening in the headlines. I like to believe that you can only go certain places to find out what's happening in local news, right? Justin Uzel, good morning to you over in Mauriceville. Tom is with me. He says, No Shave November is right. I have to explain to everyone why I look this way. I have to do that, Tom. Here's the sad thing. I have to do that even when I don't have facial hair. At this point in life, I have to explain why I look the way I do. Hi, Paul Martin. Good morning to you this morning. Shireen, good morning to you. Sherry is up this morning in Pine Forest. Linda Harris is up over in Viter. Hi, Grace. Hope everything is well with you today. Cindy, same to you. Also, good morning coming to us from Jamie Gumpenberger. Did I say that right? Gumpenberger Preston over in Bridge City. Good morning. Also this morning, Lucho is up with us, as is Jeannie Foster. Robin Reed says, I am hiding this from my husband. I understand I'm not even going to ask where that's going, all right? Dylan Lloyd says, good morning from South Korea. Well, I wish I knew, Dylan, how to say good morning in Korean, but I don't. So I'll just say, howdy. That's Texan for good morning. I hope everything is well there. I know a lot of folks that are in Korea for a number of different reasons. Either they've gone there to work for corporations, right? Or a lot of them I know are teaching English as a second language in South Korea. I'm at that point in life that I've actually read some interesting stories about people who retire and go abroad to live, right? What do we call them? We call them expats, or people who are living in other places. And I was reading very recently that one of the places that they say is one of the best places to live is South Korea. The problem is cost of living can be kind of expensive in South Korea, unlike, say, moving to Honduras or Guatemala, where the cost of living is low. Colombia is another one of those places. Hi, Vanessa Provo. Hope you're doing good this morning. Jeannie says she watched the television show this morning. I appreciate that. Amela, good morning to you. Clay Crawford saying good morning from Silsby. Also, Susan Gidry saying cancer is a horrible disease. Lost my sister to it. Well, Susan, that's also part of the reason that I want to raise awareness. I lost my brother way too young to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, so I also have a reason. I think almost everyone you talk to could cite somebody in their life, right, that would say the same thing. Hi, Jada. Hope you're doing good this morning. Daisy Marie is up this morning. Monica Collins as well. Susan says it is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. Oh, I see what Robin is saying now. I got you. Robin says, I'm allergic to my husband's beard, LOL. I get it. I really do. Well, bear with us again. It won't last forever. I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe my wife will go, I love your beard. I don't think that's going to happen. But I don't think she has I hope she loves me either way, right? Wouldn't that be the thing that you would depend on after this many years? I think she's seen the good, bad, and the very ugly. All right, so we will talk about a couple of things this morning. I just want to point you, of course, KFDM.com, first stop on the internet, where you can go and find out what's happening in local news. You can see how Southeast Texans are reacting to the news that President Trump isn't conceding the election to Joe Biden. You can also go in and find out about an attorney, local attorney, who's talking about all the different possibilities that are going on as far as lawsuits in this country. You can also go and check on, we had a shooting in Jasper. I know we posted that on our KFDM website as well. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the obvious headlines this morning. I'm not. But I want to ask a question. Am I the only person in the world who does not understand stock market and stock market activity? I asked that because if you looked at the stock market yesterday, you're probably going, Dan, what are you talking about? It was a great day yesterday. It was one of the best days in the history of the market. Yeah, it was, unless you were in the NASDAQ. And the market sets new records. Let's go over to CNBC. And you can see, and I would also mention that you can go to, if you want to keep it in the CBS family, they have Money Watch. And you can go to Money Watch. But I went here because I wanted to show you this story. Stocks fall as tech shares drop amid big market rotation. Now, stocks yesterday soared on the Dow Jones. But if you're in the NASDAQ, you took it on the chin. You really did. And I kept saying, why is that? Why would one be good and one be bad? You know, it would seem like if the stock market, goes up, wouldn't everything go? No, because read what it says at the very top. Big market rotation. I like to be educated. I want to know why things happen. Why do they go in opposite directions? Why is it sometimes when the news is good, the market is bad, right? When the news is good, suddenly you look down and you go, can I be reading this right? The stock market is dropping. And then when the news is really bad, all of a sudden the market is going up. But there are reasons, there are factors, maybe it's just beyond my comprehension. But when they go opposite directions, that always kind of, because I'm one of those people that I'm not day trading. I'm not one of those people that has a little bit of stock in everything. And every day I go and look at it and go, I'm going to trade this, I'm going to trade that. But I'd like to know why it does it because, many of us are trying to be managers of our own portfolios. Why? Because somewhere along the way, and I never have quite understood this, they did away with pension programs, right? So like my grandpa and my dad, they had pension programs. They worked at the company, and at the end, they were like, okay, you retired, now you're going to get your pension. And they knew what was coming. And somewhere along the way, we decided, well, let's let the employee have the ability to build his own pension plan. We'll call them, 401ks or 503 whatevers, or, but we'll make IRAs and individual accounts, and we'll let the individual set up his own account. I'm not sure, I'm concerned, and I'm sure some of you may be too, about what this really means moving forward. Because what you read is, people don't have any savings. They haven't done very well with their 401ks because when they get a little bit of money, what do we want to do? We want to go buy something. You don't want to invest it. You want to spend it. That's easy to understand. We all like our toys. But because we no longer have pensions, we have to be taking care of ourselves. So you do have to educate yourself, if you haven't already, about what's going on in the market and also understand what's happening when your 401k, if you're lucky enough to have one and have something in it, why it's going up, why it's coming down. So anyway, I thought this was a fascinating story. Do you know why stocks went up and the NASDAQ went down? Because NASDAQ is trading tech stocks. Okay, so you probably thought, well, okay, tech stocks, maybe it's because of the potential change in the White House and taxation and I don't know. You could think of 1,000 different reasons, maybe, that it would change. Regulations are going to change. Oh, that might be bad. Maybe they perceive that to be bad for tech stocks. But no, that wasn't the reason. Do you know? This is really kind of interesting. Look, the reason, and let me get rid of this so you can see a little bit better. The reason they went down is because, look, Amazon shares down 3.5%. Zoom was down 10%, adding to its 17% decline on Monday. Alphabet, which most of us would probably know better as Google, Microsoft were both down. Apple was down. And here's why. The stay-at-home trade, which has led the market higher for most of this year, may be falling out of favor, said Lindsay Bell, a strategist at Alley Invest. There's still a good long-term case for tech, but it may not outpace the rest of the market like it has since March. Well, what does that mean? Well, but basically, and you can, somebody says, well, that's why I have a guy. Yeah, you should have a guy. you should have, somebody that can help you out with this. But it's still good to understand what all this means. In my mind, even with a guy, you put a lot of trust in your guy, and this is somebody talking, a guy, and I get that. But you still should have the knowledge about what's going on, I think. But I just want to be educated. So anyway, my point being that the reason those stocks went down is because the news of the vaccine came out. And these are companies that have actually benefited from the pandemic because people what? If you're Amazon, everybody's buying online. So that's what they've been doing. So now that you have order of a 90% effective vaccine, that's still a long way from going into anybody's arm on a mass populous basis. But that's why, because now, maybe people will start going back to the store. They're not going to have to buy online. So that's why it went down. I learned something, but I learn something every day. That's not that hard to do. Hey, before you go this morning, and I know a lot of us are going to be going in and out, drop me a like, will you? It's always appreciated. It's that little circle with the thumbs up in it. Oh, you've got another emoji you want to put in there, that's fine too, but I would appreciate it. Also, of course, always try to remind you that if you're interested, you can subscribe to our Facebook page, Facebook page, you can just be here, but to our YouTube channel, which is Dan's at Home. And we put out, a couple of alerts, let you know that these are coming up. All right, so there it is. You know how to get there. Okay, going to finish up this morning with something that I thought was kind of fun. And again, those who are still, I don't know, what's a good word? What's a good word that I'm looking for? Those who are still unsure about the election results, just take it for what it is. But I thought this was interesting because one of the things people are talking about is that President-elect, at this point, Joe Biden, has a dog. And they're saying that, after a long period of time with no dogs in the White House, there will be a dog back in the White House. There's Major and Champ are the two dogs of President-elect Joe Biden. So he will be bringing them back, or into the White House. So I'm sure they've been there, probably visited when he was vice president. But it was a cute story, USA Today, most famous dogs of all time from TV, movies, and more. So I thought, I'm going to read these and see how many they should all be very famous, right? We would know. I didn't know the first one was like Balto. I know Rin Tin Tin, but I don't know Balto. How about Barry? I didn't know that one either, but apparently it has to do with St. Bernards. Beethoven, I know Beethoven, the movie star, right? Beethoven, who they did a franchise on, one of the best-selling dog movies of all time. I know who Bolt is. So some of these you may know, others you may not know, but it still can be, a little bit educational. It's a little bit of fun, right? So go in and check it out today if you're looking for the most famous dogs of all time. Everybody should know those, right? Balto. Didn't know that one. All right. I'm done for today. Not really. I have a lot to do today, but not here. And I'm sure you have things to do too. So I'm going to cut you loose. Go enjoy your day. Remember, reach out to somebody today. If you haven't already, do that random act of kindness. It will not hurt you one bit, and it might actually benefit somebody else. All right. And then we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning, beginning at 4:30 a.m. on KFDM TV with the morning show. Till then, be safe and take care.